She also Jessie asked, what was your home like when you grew up? I lived in my house that I grew up in from the time I was about 2.5 years until I got married. And it was a fairly good sized house, the biggest house that my mother and dad had ever lived in. And so it was a 2-story home. It had a porch in front of the dining room where you could go into the front door. And there was a porch in front of their bedroom where they could go out from their bedroom onto a porch. You went in from the porch, the main porch, into the dining room, and off to the left was our front room. And it kind of stuck out, and Mother planted the most beautiful flowers in front of it. My mom had a green thumb. And if you went straight from the dining room into the back, next room was our kitchen. And Mom was a great cook. So in the mornings for breakfast, she always made oatmeal, bacon and eggs, or ham and eggs, anyway, a meat and eggs and pancakes. And this would be the breakfast every morning. We grew up on a farm, so the boys and Dad had to have a big meal because they had to go out and farm. And that takes a lot of work. The rest of the house had a room just off the side of the kitchen where Mother did her laundry. Now her laundry was with a wringer washing machine. She had to carry water in from the pump outside, and she would put it on the stove and bring it to a boil to put it in the washing machine to wash the clothes. And then there was a tub attached to there that she would do the rinse in, and then put that back through the wringer, and we would take it out to the lines and hang it on lines outside with clothespins. And the clothes really did smell fresh and good when we got them in. We didn't have all the pollution that we have now in the valley, in the Salt Lake Valley. And in the winter, it wasn't so good because our clothes would freeze on the lines. And we'd have to bring them in, and we would roll them up and put them in a plastic bag. And then on ironing day, we'd take them out of the plastic bag and do that. Mother did laundry every Monday. Every Tuesday was her ironing day. And so everything got ironed and cleaned right at the first of the week. We had later on, I've got to tell you too, that our bathtub was a metal that round bathtub, and that would be in front of the kitchen stove where we would take turns in taking a bath. Later on, when I was probably in the middle school days, we got a real bathroom. That was probably the best day of my life and my mother's life, and probably all my siblings, because we had a real toilet. Before then, we ran out to the 2-seater that wasn't really close to the house, where no matter what the weather, if you had to go to the bathroom, you had to go out to the 2-seater. And to dry ourselves, we used the Sears catalog. And the lucky ones got to use the yellow pages because they were the soft pages. When the soft pages were gone, you used just the old hard pages of the catalog. It wasn't very much fun. So this bathroom was so nice. Had a toilet and a bathtub where we could just turn on the faucet and get hot water. It was wonderful. We still had the wringer washer, but Mother had water piped into that washing machine where she could get hot water also. The bathtub had, out to the side, a little door that we would play hide and seek in because it went in under the stairs. and it was fun to hide under there and play. So before the bathroom was built, there was a hallway from the dining room down to Mother and Dad's bedroom. And there's the open space under the stairs that they closed in. Their bedroom door opening out to the porch was always fun too, because Mother always had big dinners. All of our family, I come from a family of 9, so I had 8 siblings and their families. And they often came home for Sunday dinners and all of the holidays. And I was the youngest of the 9, so I had siblings that had children my age and older. One of my sisters had a daughter that was 2 years older than I. That was Shirley. And Olive had a son, Robert, that was 1 year older than me. And then Carol, my niece, was 1 month younger than I. Well, we always had plates, not paper plates, but real plates for our dinners. And they always wanted us girls to do the dishes. So we would always have to go to the bathroom when the bathroom was built. And so we'd head down the hall into Mom and Dad's bedroom, out onto the porch, and run to the orchard and hide in the trees. And my sister Lily would always send her husband Lyle to find us. So Lyle and some of my brothers would come over to the orchard and holler our names, and we'd be hiding up in the trees or down in an embankment where we'd hide some of the times. And we would hide there and keep really quiet. I kind of think they knew that we were there, but they pretended they never. And they'd holler at us and holler, and then they'd go back into the house. So we would get out of doing the dishes. And I think we did this probably every meal. So it was fun just to get away and hide from them. I guess we were kind of naughty. But it was fun. And in the house was the cook stove. My mother would cook her good meals every breakfast and every lunch. And lunch was our big meal in the house, too. The men would come in from working, and Mom would have a big meal, a roast and potatoes and gravy and pies. Mom was a really good cook, and everything was really good. And lots of times she fed all the workers that would come in and help. Our neighbors would trade work with other neighbors. So they'd all come to our house and they'd get the hay in or the grain in or whatever. And then my family, my dad and brothers, would go to their house and get all that in. So Mom would cook for the workers all the time. And she always made, I don't know how many pies. Some of them would eat half a pie. So we had big meals at noon. And then at nighttime, we just had like bread and milk or something simple. Mom didn't cook at night. And I never really did much cooking either. Mother didn't like to clean house, so us girls took turns when we were at the age to clean the house, and it was the home of cleaning the house. And Mother always did the cooking. She didn't want us doing the cooking because she was a good cook and she liked to cook and she liked to work outside with Dad. So she did one or the other, but she did not clean. But it was fun learning to do that, except for when my brothers would come in from the barn with all dirty, yucky boots on. My dad was good to take his boots off on the porch, but my brothers would walk in. And I remember getting so upset with them for tracking in right after I'd mopped the floor. But I think they did it on purpose. What can I say? It was fun growing up on the farm. We had cows and horses and sheep and pigs and chickens. And We had all of our own fruit trees. Mom and Dad planted a big garden. We had all the food we needed without going to the store, except for flour and salt and baking powder and that type of things. Everything else was grown in our family. We also had entertainment. Mom and Dad always had the big Brackenbury reunion at our house. And all the uncles and the aunts came. And Mom cooked for days for those reunions every year. And they had horseshoes, and us kids would ride the horses, and we just had lots of games to play, and it was fun growing up in our house in Albion.